Hey Waffle Gang, I do hope you're well. My name is Mark and today we're checking out some more Reddit stories, and if you do love a Reddit story, why not consider hitting that like, subscribe, maybe that notification bell too, and let's crack on with today's first story. Much love guys. Now, today's first story comes from anonaccountweirdo and says, my 24 male girlfriend, 24 female, went way too far pranking her male friend, 24 male. And now I'm wondering if the prank's a flirtation after all. My girlfriend of 2 years has had this male friend for a while. His name is Declan, and I'm not his biggest fan, but I didn't want to impede on the friendship. So she told me last week that Declan pranked her by calling her up and pretending to be Jack Nicholson with one of those soundboards. So she wants to get him back. So as a joke, the next time we were over at his place, she used his landline to call a sex hotline that charged by the minute and then just left the phone there. Declan gets charged like $200 for it. So Declan strikes back at her again. At this point, they're still just being goofy and I don't really mind. He comes over to her place for a party she was throwing, then hides this creepy decapitated doll in her closet. She finds it, freaks out, but then starts laughing. Now she wants to prank Declan even harder. So she knows he's scared of clowns and she literally makes this giant paper mache clown statue that's hollow on the inside. She wants to put it in his house. Apparently his roommate will let her in or something, then hiding it at night and then pop out of it as soon as he notices it. So I tell her this is a little extreme, but she does it anyway. Fast forward to that night. I get a call from my girlfriend because Declan apparently punched her in the face as soon as he saw her pop out of the clown thing. Totally a knee-jerk reaction because he didn't know it was her. Her nose wound up getting broken. She had to go to the hospital. Now she's fine, although still wearing a splint, but she wants to continue pranking Declan. At this point, should I put my foot down? She's actually getting injured and it makes you wonder if she just likes being around him so much that she is using the pranks as an excuse. These pranking stories, they never end up well, do they? And is it me, or is it like it really escalated in these pranks? So it went from pretending to be Jack Nicholson with a soundboard, which, is fairly harmless, to, getting charged $200 because she phoned up a sex hotline and just left it on the side. If someone did that to me and I had to pay $200 for this, I'd be pissed. Then the doll thing happened, then she went to the effort of making a giant paper mache clown. Making it, crafting it, taking all this time to do it. So the point that she can hide inside of it. I love a little harmless prank, jumping out on each other and all that sort of stuff, but I'd be sick of that shit straight away. I don't think I'd want to be around this very long, regardless of the cheating or whatever. Regardless if you think it's flirtation or whatever, I don't think I'd want to be around it. I just ain't got time for that anymore. And I just read the title again. They're all 24 years old. I'm just like, what the fuck? But Fishalicious says, as someone who loves pranks, I have definitely started prank wars with guys I like as an excuse to flirt with them. I have also pranked male friends of mine with absolutely no desire to bang them. So I don't think anything in this post is evidence enough to prove that she wants to cheat. This sub is really suspicious of friendships outside of relationships, but I don't think that suspicion is always warranted. You can't put your foot down in that you can't tell her what to do, but you can at least ask for some assurance. She sounds competitive and like she doesn't want to get beat, so that may be why she wants to continue the pranks even after she got hurt. Continuing shows she's tough and not scared in her mind. That prideful mindset can be hard to get over, but explain that you are worried about her and worried about how this is escalating. You can ask her what the hell she's getting out of this that's worth getting her nose broken. Maybe that will at least make her pause and think about her motivations. Pixel says you've been dating for 2 years and her and Declan have only been friends for 5 months? It's almost a different matter entirely. I think this is bad news. Declan wants to sleep with your girlfriend. I'll definitely let her know it makes you feel uncomfortable and see how she responds. Also, if I was in a 2-year relationship and my girlfriend started referring to a very new friend of hers as a brother, I'd be concerned too. Even if it's not intentional for her. He wants to sleep with your girl. You can't control her, but you can control how you handle yourself. Be as straightforward and upfront about your feelings as possible. And one more comment says, no, calm down. She's just having immature fun with her friend. Even if it does cost her money and a nose. That just seems to be the kind of person she is. You're just getting a little jealous. Why don't you join in on their prank war and maybe suggest some pranks you could both do that are safe and you can feel included and not be a stick in the mud? Really? Maybe I'm just being a boring fart. Hoopy comes in with her update and says, didn't think I'd have to do an update so soon after posting my original post, but here goes. I talked to my girlfriend about Declan and I told her that the pranks are getting dangerous and she is unreasonably close to a guy she's only known for such a short amount of time. She refers to him as her brother and her BFF, but it's literally been 5 months. I thought she would react in a mature way, but instead she said, almost word for word, this is why I'm always pranking Declan. At least Declan has a good sense of humor. I wouldn't even need to hang out with Declan if you weren't so uptight. So at least I now have confirmation that she hangs out with Declan specifically because she thinks I am not good enough. We wind up having a screaming match and the door rings, so she goes to get it. It's this guy in a giant gorilla costume who barges in and starts humping all our furniture. Immediately I assume it's fucking Declan, so I, keep in mind I was already extremely angry, punch him in the face. He takes off the mask. It's Declan's roommate Chad. Apparently Declan paid Chad $100 to scare us in the gorilla suit as a diversion, because he was right behind Chad. While Chad was humping our furniture. Declan snuck into our bedroom and put ham underneath the mattress cover. So I tell both of these dudes to get the fuck out and stop pranking us. I thought I was finally standing up to Declan when my girlfriend tells me that the prank was hilarious and she's going to give me time to cool off. She leaves with Chad and Declan. And keep in mind, Chad's nose is still bleeding and he's wearing the gorilla suit. I haven't heard from her yet today, but I saw her post a picture of a bagel on Instagram this morning, so I know she's awake. I still don't know where she slept last night or what happened with Declan. I want to break up because I'm so angry, but weirdly enough, I still really love her. I can't help it, and I don't want to waste 2 years. Final update. Well, this is the latest one. Here, spread it around. I can't believe I was removed. For those of you who don't want to read the earlier posts, my girlfriend, now ex, got way too close to her male friend Declan through an infantile prank war, whose roommate Chad facilitated some of the pranks. I want to say thank you for the helpful PMs and comments of support. I got way too many to reply to all of them, but they were all helpful. Sorry for uploading so late. A lot has happened and it was the 4th of July weekend. The night of my previous post, I broke up with my girlfriend. I told her pretty much exactly what was suggested. I even told her that I thought her behavior with Declan was already an emotional affair, if not a physical one. Not surprisingly, she flipped out at me and told me I was being emotionally abusive and controlling. She told me that every ex-boyfriend she's had has been emotionally abusive, and I fall right into that category. Okay, lol. Because she's only kind of living with me and technically not on the lease, she's just slowly been staying here more often and has a key. It was pretty much easy to kick her out. I wasn't sure if she was going to return to her old roommate, who has most of her stuff, her female friend, or if she'd start living with Declan and Chad, his roommate. When I asked her if she was going to move in with Declan, she told me it was no longer my business. Anyway, so that night I tried to relax. I was pretty upset, but pretty sure in my decision to dump her, and I felt like I could start new, meet someone else, etc. And I got a bunch of random calls on my phone from a restricted number. When I picked up, nobody was there, so I turned my phone on silent, figuring this is one of her immature schemes. To be honest, I still don't know who did it. I'm just assuming her or Declan. And in the morning, I had 60 missed calls from restricted numbers. In the morning, I actually got a text from Declan asking to come over to pick up my girlfriend's stuff. So yes, she moved in with him. I tried to be civil because I really just wanted to get her stuff out of my apartment, but I also wanted closure. So when he got here, I just told him that his relationship with her directly influenced the breakup, and that I know they're together now. Now this is where things get weird. Weirder? Declan looks at me surprised and tells me that he doesn't think my girlfriend is into him, and that he definitely isn't into her. I told him to cut the crap, that it doesn't matter anymore. He seemed to be getting anxious and panicky, so I told him to calm down. I wasn't going to hurt him. I just wanted to know the deal. Then he tells me that he knows he directly contributed to our breakup, but not in the way I think. Apparently it was Chad, not Declan, who wanted to bang my girlfriend. Chad was too shy and asked Declan to befriend my girlfriend and act as a wingman. Declan has tons of female friends, so Chad thought it would effectively gain her trust and would be a good in. Declan insisted the reason he kept pranking her and being goofy was because he was hoping it would paint their relationship as clearly non-romantic. Apparently Chad paid him back for all the times he had to lose money in a prank, and Chad was actually the one paying for my girlfriend's broken nose. I told him, well, that was a stupid plan because my girlfriend moved in with you specifically to be with you, so that sucks for all three of you. Declan got extremely upset and seemed to be practically shaking at the idea that my girlfriend had feelings for him. He was acting like he murdered someone. So now my girlfriend, well, ex, is living with a guy she has a crush on, who has no feelings for her, and a guy who has a crush on her, but was too creepy and weird to say it. I hope they all have fun together. I'm sure she will contact me again once it dawns on her that the wrong guy is interested. I'll update you all if that happens. What an absolute fucking mess. Holy moly. Can you imagine that house with the three of them there? That is going to be chaos. OP never did update again. And I'm not totally against pranks. We see a lot of prank stories and usually the pranks in them upset the other person and then, that's not a prank. It's not funny. But when two people are having a good time and doing it, then, fair enough. But in this situation, got broken noses, someone getting charged $200, they're paying $100 to prank someone else, gritter suit humping all the furniture. What the fuck's going on? That's that's mad behavior. It's like for the OP, I'd be like, I'd have noped out of that situation pretty early on. I ain't got no time for that shit. Just the logistics behind it all. How long does it take to make a giant paper mache clown that you can climb inside of, that you're just going to burst out and break? That must have been hours to make. Potentially days even. Anyway, what do you guys make of this situation? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. And let's move on to another story. Now, our next story comes from a throwaway account and says, boyfriend, 25 male, and his sister-in-law, 28 female, sneaked out to the beach at 3 a.m. Okay. So last night, that happened. We've been together for a year. We were visiting his parents' house, who live by the beach, and his brother, who was also there with his wife, stayed there last night at around 3 a.m. I was half asleep and noticed that he's leaving the room. I thought he's probably going to the bathroom or something. I heard some noises from downstairs and I wasn't paying attention until I saw from the window that he's going out to the beach with his brother's wife. They came back about an hour later. I still haven't confronted him and was wondering what this could mean. What was it that they needed to do? I don't know what to think. Is it something that I can be upset about? Sneaking around at night isn't cool in my opinion. There were some relevant comments from OP. A user says, I'm very surprised you didn't follow them. It could have a range of interpretations from a crazy idea to wanting to fuck on the beach. OP says, I wanted to, but they had locked the front door behind them, and I didn't have the key. Angelic Princess says, this is a new one to me. Do tell, how'd you get locked in a house? OP says, the lock has keyholes in both sides. I imagine my in-laws locked the doors at night and keeps the key somewhere inside, and my boyfriend had a spare key, so he opened it, got out and locked it back. Panic Bread says, what if there's a fire? And I once went on a couple of dates with a guy. On our second date, he invited me over to his house to watch a movie. When it was time to leave, it turned out the door was locked from the inside, and it took him about 10 minutes to track down the key. I never went on another date with that guy again. Yeah, some of the old council houses where I used to live had those type of keys. I think they're called like fire brigade locks. The long keys that the only thing I can think of that an image that might pop in your head, like the skeleton type key ones, the big long things. So you could lock the door from the inside and you wouldn't be able to get out basically. Yeah, absolutely dangerous. If you lose the keys, of course. But they all got swapped out a bit later on. But this one is screaming cheating, isn't it? Why are they sneaking out? What are they doing? The only excusable, well, it's not even excusable, but I'm just trying to find something out there that where it wouldn't be shady as fuck. Is that they were both up late at night, they couldn't sleep or whatever, and they decided, oh, come on, let's just go for a walk down the beach or something. But this is very relationship dependent. Like going for a walk with my sister-in-laws, we wouldn't consider it anything weird. They are literally sisters to me. At the same time, you still have the logic in your mind that going out, that sneaking out at 3 a.m. to go with your sister-in-law is going to look shady as fuck and not a good idea. So OP does update the post and says, hey again, as much as I wanted to tell you all of that, it was over nothing. That they just wanted to get some air or smoke some weed or something, not the case. They were indeed fucking. Asked my boyfriend about it, didn't mention that I saw him go out with her. Just that I saw him leave the bed and come back later. He told me that he just went to pee and then he saw his dad in the kitchen who couldn't sleep and they had a chat for a while. I asked his sister-in-law immediately after that. Said that I saw her from the window for a second. Was I just imagining it since I was half asleep, or did she go out alone that time of night? She said that she enjoys midnight breaths and alone walks on the beach. Liar again. I told his brother that I saw them leave. He told me that they enjoy long walks on the beach. He couldn't be bothered to go with them. I thought, liar. So apparently they gave each other a heads up since my boyfriend came to me and told me everything an hour later. Him and his brother, what? Like sharing their girlfriends and SOs. He's been fucking his sister-in-law for years now. That night was just another moment. He told me that he wanted to tell me when the time is right or when he thought I'm prepared so that I can join in and sleep with his brother. Oh, gee whiz. So they don't even need to sneak around. He wasn't even admitting that it was cheating, saying that it doesn't count since it's his sister-in-law, not some random girl. I don't even know what to say to that. He called me traditional for thinking it was cheating. Yeah, I consider having sex with anyone else cheating. Call me traditional. So I broke up with him and left him to deal with his weird shit with his brother, and I'm actually happier now. The thought of what he was up to all those times grosses me out completely. He can fuck himself. I won't put it past him. We wanted to go on a holiday together. Now I'm gonna go and have fun with my cousins instead. And I know that's not what OP meant at the very end there, fun with my cousins. It's just in the context of the story. I thought, no. That is some weird shit. He said to you that he wanted to tell you when the time is right, so you can join in. How the fuck's that conversation going to work? How did the whole thing start to begin with? At what point did these brothers have a conversation and said, right, let's start sharing, and then they somehow had to get the wives involved? What the fuck? Everyone seems to be agreeable upon this. But Pretty and Smart says, I love that he said it's not cheating because it's his sister-in-law. What the fuck? This is literally the craziest statement I've ever seen. Not to mention, it's pretty fucked up to have this arrangement. Get a girlfriend and keep it a secret until you think she's ready to exchange SOs and have sex with the brother. How the hell are you going to assume that your girlfriend is going to be down with doing it when you finally explain the arrangement? OP, you dodged a freight train. OP responds saying he thought he was preparing me for it slowly. Are you sitting down? Says, do take the time to get checked out for STDs. OP says, I have an appointment for tomorrow actually. I'm going to make sure everyone knows their shit if he's giving me something. Their parents don't know. They will have if I have an STD. Someone replies saying, don't let anger and revenge control your actions. Also remember that the girl has done you no harm, so disclosing her secret might not be fair to her. OP responds saying, she's done me no harm. She had sex with my boyfriend God knows how many times behind my back, while knowing I wouldn't be okay with it, and she lied to me about it face to face. Fuck her. TLDR, they were fucking, his brother knew, it was their thing. They wanted me involved too. No way. We broke up. Fuck them all. No, don't do that. The fucking them all, that is. That's what we're trying to avoid here. But holy moly, what do you guys make of this situation? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. And just a huge thank you from the bottom of my heart for getting involved in today's stories. Your love, your support, your time always means the absolute world to me. So thank you so much for being involved, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Take care and much love.
Wake up, get up, stretch my legs, eat some breakfast, milk and eggs. Brush my teeth up, wash my face, throw my clothes on, start my day. Wake up, I can smell the smoke from the bacon. Let's go, see the sun shining from the windows. Okay, I know that today'll be a good day. Okay,